So Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers had a major comeback against the Arizona Cardinals, and there were a lot of very interesting things that happened, especially in the final drive of the game, or at least the drive that they had late in the game that took the lead. There was a ton of crazy things that happened. For one thing, Jimmy Garoppolo's final box score ended up very impressive. However, it was not an entire day of good football play from Jimmy Garoppolo. He definitely had his down moments. The box score was 424 yards on 45 attempts, along with 4 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. So the box score definitely looks pretty impressive. The 2 interceptions not the best, and the 2 interceptions definitely were not great. And it took him a little while to get going. I mean, no points in the first quarter. However, he really did come on strong, especially in the second half, and especially in the drive that they needed to finally take the lead late in the fourth quarter against the Arizona Cardinals. And so, let's just jump into how things happened. At first, it wasn't really Garoppolo doing anything too spectacular. It was a lot of Garoppolo just, playing the offense, which is really what you're supposed to do. I think a lot of guys in these 2-minute drills sometimes get a little bit too freaked out and they try to make everything happen and try to throw the ball downfield. But really, in a 2-minute drill, what are you supposed to do? It's just keep doing what you have been doing for the most part. I mean, time definitely is a factor, so you have to use that to change your game plan. But you don't have to have that just completely control your offense. At the end of the day, football still is a team sport, even when there's only 2 minutes left. And this plays a great example of it. What's going to happen is it's going to be cover 4 zone that they're going up against, and that's good news for San Francisco because they have those 3 receivers who are in a bunch formation on the bottom half of the screen running those routes right there, which, if you can tell by the way that those 3 routes are going, that route is going to get open. Because not only is it already in a gap in coverage, but there's 2 other San Francisco 49ers who are going to be in the 2 other zones in the middle of the field, meaning that that's going to kind of spread out the 2 Cardinals who are covering those zones, meaning that that receiver that's in blue right now is going to be where Garoppolo wants to head. And so for Garoppolo, there's no looking around to try to take a shot. It's just run your offense. Hit the guy you're supposed to hit. That's what he does. It's just a smart, easy play by Garoppolo, and a well done one by him as well. Like, this one's another example of making things easy on him. What's going to happen is it's just going to be a screen pass. So, wide receiver takes a couple of steps out, and then the 2 other San Francisco 49ers who are eligible receivers on the top half of the screen will go out to block those 2 Cardinals right there. But what I do find interesting, and actually the one wrinkle with this play, is that Arizona player is going to be completely unblocked in this one. And so, in theory, if Garoppolo tries to hit his receiver, for all you know, he could run over and knock the ball away, or potentially even intercept it and run it all the way back for a pick 6, which would basically just end the game. There are possibilities. But for Garoppolo, there's no way he's even going to let there be a chance of that happening. He's going to get the ball, quickly get it out, and they're able to gain some more yards and continue this drive. Really good play by Garoppolo, but also that's just kind of what you're supposed to do as an offensive coordinator, is make things easy on your quarterback, even in the final 2 minutes when you're trying to drive down the field and at least tie the game, but hopefully take the lead, because you're down 3 right now. This one was another play I really liked from Garoppolo, where it's going to be a cover 2 zone, and he has a receiver that's running a route that he likes. It's that route right there. That's a route that Garoppolo likes and is going to look to throw to in this situation. Once he sees its zone, it will get into a gap in coverage, and so that's where Garoppolo is going to look. However, after the ball is snapped, it's not really that open. The Arizona player in the area is doing a pretty good job of clogging up any throwing lane. Garoppolo could think about throwing it, but the problem is he has to make his decision right now, and he doesn't love the situation he's in right now. And also, the reason why he has to make his decision at this moment is because of that player right there. There's pressure coming, so for Garoppolo, there's not really a lot of things he can do right now, but here is one thing he can do, and that's run up and just pick up some yards that way. It's not going to be a ton of yards, but you know what? Hey, gain a few yards. And also, I kind of love how he doesn't slide there. I mean, honestly, you probably should slide even in the final 2 minutes. You want to protect yourself. You're probably going to get the, in field goal range anyways, but in the final 2 minutes, there's just no way someone like Garoppolo is going to slide to protect themselves in a situation like this, which it's good to see, and especially like in a playoff game, you would love to see him do that, but probably gave some front office guys a heart attack when they see that he's running pretty much every time he runs. But at the same time, hey, you gain some yards that way. So smart play and also just a good play. So in the next play, Arizona's going to be a cover 2 man right here, which is a bit of a conservative play call. They're definitely making sure they don't give up a touchdown here, but it's not going to work out too well, largely because San Francisco has a receiver running that route right there, which is great against this type of coverage, and once Garoppolo realizes what the coverage is, that is where he's going to look to throw. He looks up and immediately looks over to Goodwin right there is the receiver that he's trying to hit, and he's clearly open. So again, for Garoppolo, there's no hesitation. He hits Goodwin. Also, that quick release that he has is really comes in handy right here. So good play by Garoppolo, and also good job by Goodwin to get wide open. But again, for Garoppolo, a lot of these plays aren't necessarily the highest difficulty of plays, but it's a matter of executing. In a situation like this, you can't afford many mistakes, and he wasn't making many mistakes, which is what you have to do in one of these key situations, like being down 3 with 2 minutes left. Like this situation is very much another one. It's going to be a 3rd down and 3 right now. There's 54 seconds left, and you're right in a situation where it would be a long field goal, but you would ideally like to get some more yards here. And because, your field goal kicker, while he did make a couple clutch kicks last game, he also whiffed on a kick. You don't really know what you have with him, so ideally you want to make things as easy for him as possible. You're going up against a cover 1 blitz, and that's the receiver you're going to try to hit right now, because it's going to be past the 1st down marker. It's a blitz, so you have to get the ball off quickly, but it is a route that can beat man coverage, so Garoppolo, he already knows where he's going to try to throw this ball to. It is going to be to him. And after the ball is snapped, there definitely is a window where he can try to make this throw. It's not a huge window, but there definitely is a window there. And Garoppolo, again, no hesitation, make your throw, see if you can get the 1st down, and that's going to be exactly what happens. They do just get the 1st down. It wasn't by a ton, but they got it, and that's what you have to do is on 3rd down and 3, get the 1st down. Pretty simple. That is something you will see some guys do from time to time. It's just in certain situations, they kind of get the idea of, we only have 2 minutes. We have to try to score a touchdown here. We have to focus on the clock. But sometimes when you focus on the clock too much, you forget about the fact that you still only have 4 downs. And San Francisco did not forget about that fact, which is how they only had to face 1 3rd down this entire drive. It was that one, and they were able to convert on it. They definitely had the mindset this entire time of, let's make sure that we convert on our plays. Let's make sure that we get the ball downfield, so that way we don't have to worry about a 4th down situation where do we go for it? Do we then try to have our kicker make a field goal? We don't have to worry about any of that, because now they're in a situation where they're at the 25-yard line, and it is still 38 seconds left with a timeout left. So they still have time, and they're now down the field. And that's when this play is going to happen, where for Arizona, they're just going to go for it here. They're going to run a cover 0 right now, see if they can get Garoppolo to mess up. And also, I think it's at a certain point you have to trust your guys and see if your guys can come through. It's a high-risk, high-reward type situation. It definitely is the type of situation where it could cause Garoppolo to make an ill-advised throw. It could result in a sack, or it could result in a very bad play happening from your perspective if somebody gets open. So at this point, the key route to watch is actually going to be Jeff Wilson Jr.'s route, because he's going to fake as though he's just running a simple flat route, which is something you often see a halfback do. But then he's going to cut over to the middle, and this is actually going to really fool his assigned man. And that's partially because his assigned man is brother of the MMA great John Jones. It's Chandler Jones, who is going into this game tied for the league lead in sacks, but at the same time, his coverage is definitely suspect, to say the least. And in my opinion, if you're going to play cover 0, you don't have Chandler Jones be in charge of covering the halfback here. And that's partially because notice how badly he's going to get fooled here. He goes up to the top half of the screen, expecting it to be a route in that direction, and he just gets fooled badly. Wilson cuts over in the middle, gets wide open, beats his assigned man, and in cover 0, if you beat your assigned man like that, you're going to get a touchdown unless somebody else is able to, wall after being in man coverage, look over and somehow find a way to make a tackle, but that's very difficult to do. You can often get touchdowns on cover 0 if you can just get past one guy. That's the risk with it. And I'm not going to sit here and say never play cover 0 or never play cover 0 in a risky situation. I kind of like it, actually. I think sometimes you just have to go all out, but if you're going to do it, you have to have 5 good coverage guys on the field. It's unfair to Jones to expect him to be able to beat a halfback in a one-on-one matchup. But at the same time, you gotta take advantage of San Francisco exploiting that matchup, with Wilson running really a tremendous route. He really did make Jones look foolish right there, and he really kind of made the Arizona Cardinals sideline look foolish by having him out there in coverage. He should have still been out there, but he should have been rushing the passer. But also, good job by Garoppolo for noticing it, hitting Wilson in a situation where he could make the catch and continue running and get the touchdown. So, it was a mistake by Arizona, but it was also a great job by San Francisco of exploiting that mistake. So yeah, as a whole, very fun game, fun comeback from San Francisco, and just a really unique drive, I thought. Just a well-executed drive. It seems like everything San Francisco is doing is just working. They're playing very smart football this season, and it's why they're now 9-1. So yeah, that's what I thought of their game-winning drive against the Cardinals. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, thanks for watching.